Hello friends, I'm Rob, this is Digital Wastrel, and this video has all the makings of a cult classic.
Excuse me, are y'all with the cult?
All shall fall to chaos!
Yeah, this is it.
This video I'm going to showcase my Slaaneshi Chaos Cult, the Six Mouths. They are primarily a NECROMUNDA gang, but they will probably show up in 40k games too, because, you know, I'm all about that cross-compatibility. It's like a multiverse, they exist in both games at once. I'll showcase each miniature along with their backstory, so strap in, we're about to get narrative. I'll also go over how I made each miniature along with any conversions and anything like that. I'd love to do more of this narrative type content in the future, so if you like it, let me know down below. Oh ho. Virgil was born the middle son of a minor noble house. Rich enough to have power, yet unimportant enough to have more freedom than most. Unlike many with his status, he used his position to improve the lives of those less fortunate. He would take trips to the underhive, bringing with him credits and supplies. Despite his attempts to remain unseen, rumours began to spread amongst the nobles. Tales of sordid mistresses or other nefarious reasons for his trips began to circulate. True or not, the embarrassment he caused his house grew. During one trip, the maglev he was aboard was caught in a devastating hivequake. No help came. He, along with the rest of the Habdome, was simply sealed away and abandoned as acceptable losses. Trapped in an abyss of darkness, under tons of rubble and steel, his only companion was a sensation of pain from his injuries. Finally, liberation. Dug from his grave by the witch Skyler, he was barely alive. His arm was gone, and his face was ruined. His new disciples nursed him back to health, covering their faces out of respect for his ordeal. The last few credits in his pocket bought him a new arm, and the dark whispers of the witch saw him claim a new face for himself. The compassion once in his heart has been replaced by something darker. The pain kept him alive. The pain remains with him still. The pain must be shared. This is my cult demagogue. The base model is one of the old Chaos Cultist leader models. He's had a head swap and an arm swap. The head actually gave me the inspiration for the background for this character. The head that I used is the head from one of the Dark Eldar homunculus characters. Well, the only plastic guy. Yeah, my painting isn't like the best, and I don't know how familiar you are with that kit, but you can just about see that the face has been stitched on to the head. So that kind of gave me the idea that he's been like horribly maimed, horribly injured, and he's like purchased a new face which he's attached to himself. And yeah, obviously this was a Dark Eldar head originally, so I trimmed down the ear a little bit. Then I gave him a big old servo claw. No real reason for that. I just think that character designs where you got one huge robot arm are super cool, so you know, that's what I did there. And I did think for quite a long time about whether I was going to keep this kind of trashy looking sword, because he's a Slaaneshi cultist, so you know, maybe I wanted to go for something a bit more ostentatious, but in the end I decided that he was in the underhive and he was kind of like a ruined, fallen character, so the more the kind of older, more worn sword would fit with him. You know, he's got like his tattered greatcoat and he's got his fancy hair and his nice face that he bought from somewhere else. But yeah, that is my leader. This is his familiar. The base model is like the homunculus, I think, from the Age of Sigmar Blissbarb Archers kit. Pretty much stock standard. He's had a head swap. It's a Zangor. I mean, I know that's a bit of a... Tzinch loves birds and he's a Slaaneshi guy, but you know, I kind of like it when the gods are not so rigidly defined. You know, he's got like a weird mutant bird face. Familiars are normally like little creatures and he's maybe like a little man or some kind of mutant, but you know, he follows him around and he's got this brazier or something. I do realise that I've forgotten to paint this bit, so we'll see whether that gets done before I film the rest of it.
Skyler, the witch of the wastes, the siren of the depths, the voice of the third mouth. She speaks with the most beautiful voice that any have heard, her eyes the most piercing blue. Her body is covered at all times, and if any have seen under her mask, none will speak of it. It was she who dug Virgil from his tomb, and it is she who now whispers in his ears. Her dark goal is known only to herself, but those she entrances follow her without question.
This is Skyler, my witch. The names of my gang, I just kind of pulled them out of thin air. There's not really any deeper meaning behind it. The idea behind her, though, was what would a Slaaneshi character look like in the underhive? So in Age of Sigmar, Slaanesh forces are all covered in gold and, you know, fancy bling and ostentatious designs and stuff like that, and that's really cool. But you probably don't get that kind of stuff in the underhive. So yeah, what would fancy stuff look like when you live in a big old trash heap? And so I decided to go with something that's kind of alluring but also disturbing and a bit weird, which I hope I've captured here. So her base model is a Genestealer Cult acolyte. I've added a backpack sack from maybe I want to say Kroot, something like that. Claw from a Demonette, and this staff is from Age of Sigmar Chaos Sorcerer, I believe. And her hood and this kind of crown thing are from Age of Sigmar / Warhammer Fantasy Battle. Like the Wood Elf, I want to say Wildwood Rangers. Like they've got like hoods and they've got like double-handed sword things. But yeah, they've got some cool, really deep hoods. And to make it even stranger, I thought I'll put an extra mask on it. And the mask is from, again, Age of Sigmar / Warhammer Fantasy Battle, Dark Elf / Daughters of Cain, Warlocks, Doomfire Warlocks, that's what they're called. So yeah, it's a mask from that attached in, so that makes her head and neck look even longer and a bit more disturbing. But you know, it's very shiny gold and she's got the piercing blue eyes. And then obviously this was a Genestealer Cult symbol on the basic model, so I cut off a little Chaos Star from somebody else and glued it on. So yeah, I'm really pleased with the way she looks. Really difficult to photograph, but I think she looks suitably interesting and nice and purple. Her familiar is just from the Chaos Terminator Sorcerer kit. That's it. There's nothing special about it.
One of the original followers of Skyler, he was witness to the rebirth of Virgil. Born a mutant and cast out as a child, surviving the underhive made him strong. He is unstoppable on the battlefield, cutting down foes with his heavy stubber, and using the weighty gun to bludgeon any who get close.
This is my heavy stubber champion. Not really much that I've changed about him. This is just a stock standard Genestealer Cultist neophyte with a heavy stubber, and I've given him a head, which I think I cut off from one of the old Chaos Cultists. Yeah, so he's got kind of a hunched pose and a little bit little bit mutanty arms, but I think painted up like that and with the hood, I think he looks suitably chaotic and not like Gene Stealery.
There are many in the cult who are true believers in the dark path, who are dedicated body and soul to the cause. Quire is not one of them. He's just a bully and he likes to set things on fire.
Quire, another one of my champions who I haven't actually bought in the game yet because flamers are way too expensive. But yeah, this is actually one of my favourite base models. This model is from the old Chaos Cultist kit. It was the heavy weapon guy. You had a choice of a flamer or a heavy stubber on this guy, and you had like a different backpack. Yeah, I don't know. It's a very simple sculpt, but it's really basic and it's really lends itself to a lot of different ideas and projects. So yeah, it's basically him with a head swap. He is a more practical member of the cult. He's not really in it for the belief, he's just in it to set people on fire. So his mask is a bit more practical and a bit less, fancy. Yeah, the head is just from the Warlock kit. I think it's the basic Warlock box. Yeah, that's it. He's just got a head swap and some purple paint.
Henver was a bounty hunter sent to infiltrate and investigate the cult. His time undercover revealed a path far more appealing than any promise of cold, sterile credits, however. Seduced by their power, he turned on his former master. The blood sacrifice of this betrayal earned him a place as the cult's newest disciple.
Next champion, Henver, is my grenade launcher, and he's got a flail as well. This is a stock model from the current Chaos Cultist box. I think it's a really, really cool sculpt. So many of the cultists in that box are just really, really cool. I changed his hand, obviously. I gave him a grenade launcher, which is from the Orlok weapon pack. You can just about see he's got a bit of an Orlok glove on there. It did go together really nicely though. I think it looks like he's wearing a big old glove. And I found a little bit of chain, like a chain hook thing from Dark Eldar kit, maybe the Talos, and stuck it on the end of his meat tenderizer thing. I don't know, this weapon's a bit weird. I'm not super pleased with the way it came out, but it's pretty solid. It's hopefully not going to fall apart when I'm transporting him. Yeah, for painting, when I put this model together, I had suddenly got a character in mind. It took me ages to think of it. I think he's called Venom from Guilty Gear. If I can find a picture, I'll stick it on the screen. But yeah, I mean, he actually looks quite different to the Guilty Gear character, but something about like the hood and the bare chest made me think of that. So I gave him a white hood in honor of the white hair of the character and dark skin. I'm still not great at painting dark skin. Yeah, I'm improving though, little by little.
Tenik lives for the perfect shot. He loves the anticipation, and he loves the thrill of picking out targets mid-battle. Lately, however, he has taken to imbibing drink and narcotics before combat. He claims to want to give himself a challenge.
Tenik the Sniper. He is a model from the Gene Stealer Cults kit again. I just really love the Gene Stealer Cults kit. It's really cool. The head is from a Adeptus Mechanicus Skitari box, I think. I've had it in my bits box for a while. The axe is, I don't know actually, where is the axe from? Let's say it's probably from a Warhammer Fantasy kit, one of the Chaos axes. And then the long rifle is from a Kroot long rifle. And actually this hand is the banner hand. So normally there was like a banner pole there, and you'd have the cult icon, but I just cut here and I cut here, and I stuck the two ends of the Kroot rifle together. So I think it's quite a nice pose. Looks really natural, and what doesn't look natural is this just fucking bit of knife that I just decided to stick on the end to cover up his Gene Stealer cult icon. Yeah, I guess I could have done a better job with that, but whatever. he's going to be hiding on a building and sniping you, so you can't see his groin anyway.
Amaranth is the cult's numbers guy. Even the dark powers need someone keeping track of supplies. As the cult's powers have grown, he has heard dark voices in his mind, whispering ever louder. He finds solace in the numbers. In times of stress, he counts bullets, grenades, even bodies to focus himself.
Here's another Gene Stealer cultist posing as a Chaos cultist. Again, nothing special here, just head swap. The head for this one was from the Witch Elf kit. The Witch Elves have an alternate build called like Sisters of Slaughter, and they all have these really cool masks, slightly demonic looking, and yeah, they work really well as Chaos Cult masks, I think. And I think there was a bit of green stuff in there for the neck, and other than that, there he is, ready to shoot people.
Hitch was liberated from a slave gang in the Wastes, and now relentlessly consumes Vox stories. These tales have led him to fancy himself a hero, leaping into danger with twin guns blazing and a witty retort. Shame no one can hear him under his mask. Zuul works as a bouncer at a pleasure house the cult uses as a hideout. His devotion and professionalism earned him an invitation to the inner circle. To Zuul, it's all a job. Breaking faces of drunk patrons or breaking the bones of an enemy ganger, it's all the same to him. It's just a job he takes pride in. Perhaps a little too much pride.
Alright, twofer. These two are Gene Stealer cultist over here and Chaos cultist over here. I think the Chaos cultist, I gave him a hand swap, gave him 2 pistols instead of, I don't know, he had like a flail or a knife or something in the original, but both of them have got head swaps. This head is from the aforementioned old cultist champion. It's just a really, really good mask. I think it's one of the coolest cultist heads around. So yeah, they both get it, so they're both marked for glory or death, one of the two.
Vesh is relentlessly optimistic. He loves all new experiences. First one over the barricade into enemy fire, multiple bullet wounds, watching the life drain from an enemy's eyes as he sinks his knife into their guts. He'll do it all with a chipper smile on his face and a kind word for his companions. Bricks hasn't breathed underhive air in the past 15 cycles. He spends all his creds on expensive air smuggled in from off-world and recycles it through his mask again and again. Getting the coin to feed this addiction wasn't easy, and his crimes soon led to his association with the cult.
Last two are pretty much stock. This guy is 100% stock, but I think this sculpt is just a nice one. He's got like the cool mask and the hood, and that's a good old combi. This dude, I think I might have given him a weapon swap for the flail and maybe a head swap. I basically cut lots of heads and weapons off the cultists and just swapped them around for a bit of variety. But other than that, yeah, some basic cultists, bit of purple paint on them, and they're ready to go. Thanks for watching till the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did enjoy it, do the like and the subscribe and all that stuff. You know, share it, spread the word. Humans versus machines. Every time you share my link, you are proving biological dominance over the cold, unfeeling algorithm, probably. If you are desperate to support me further, and you know, who wouldn't be, I've set up a coffee link, which I will stick in the description down below. I would appreciate anything that you can throw my way. Just a kind word is good as well, you know. Alright, I'm terrible with outros, so let's just finish the video here. Bye!